This is the second FLTRWorks vlog. In this video I'm going to be pretty much showing you how I got my start, what I started using, what I've continued to use for making beats and what I'm comfortable with, and a little bit more of a backstory into where it all started and how it all started. So I hope you guys enjoy. So I started out in 2010, I'm going to say, around there. And I started with two main programs that I was using, which were Virtual DJ and Acoustica Beatcraft. And those two programs helped me out with getting my start and learning how to make beats. And they helped me out a lot. I probably made about 40 to 50 beats on there, and they were pretty basic beats, not a lot of swing to them. I was just pretty much chopping up samples in Virtual DJ and pretty much adding drum beats from Acoustica Beatcraft, and that's pretty much how I got my start. There wasn't really much to it. They're two pretty basic programs, so I mean, that's pretty much what happened. Once I started using those, I really started understanding how drums come together and beats and how everything just mixes together. So I wanted to go a little bit further and find what my style could be like, and also try to figure out what else I could use to make beats, because it was pretty simple, just kind of chopping up samples and adding drum beats to them. I was adding breaks and stuff like that, so there wasn't really much to it. And from there, I think it was probably in about 2011 or something, I was walking down the street from my house at the time, and there, laying on the ground, was probably about 100 records. And once I found those, I picked them all up and brought them to my house, pretty much one by one. I think I grabbed like a handful of them or something, and then went back for the rest of them. And that's what really got me into vinyl. I think at the time I had like a really cheap ass record player, and that's how I got my start into using vinyl. But pretty much what I did was I just grabbed all this vinyl, took it home, and started seeing what I liked, what kind of samples I would like and would like to use. And from there I discovered funk, soul, and jazz music, and I fell in love with it. From there, pretty much, I knew that something that I would like to do in the future would be using a sampler. And I'd heard about the Akai MPC and the SP1200 and stuff like that, so I was already familiar with what beat makers usually use for their production. So I just started looking around online, looking on Craigslist and stuff like that. Tried to figure out what would be a good start for me, and I came across this little cheap ass sampler, which you kind of see poking out from behind me, and it was like 110 bucks. I think it was 100 bucks actually online, and it came with 100 floppy disks, and it was pretty much, it sounded like a good deal. It sounded like a good steal, so I went for it. So I picked up this sampler, and I started running my samples through the record player, and I fell in love with it. It was it's kept me going. The fucking thing still works somehow or another. It died on me like a year or two ago, but for some reason the damn thing still works, so I got no problem with that, and I'm still making beats to this day with it. The Akai S20 sampler came out in 1997. It was discontinued for a lot of reasons. It only holds 1 megabyte of memory, and what else? This thing, it's got a lot of limitations to it, but I think that's what I kind of fell in love with, was the fact that it had so many limitations, and there was it kind of gave me this structure to make beats. Like, there's only 4 tracks in the sequencer, not a lot going on. It's not a big heavy sampler, and the keys, or pads, or whatever the fuck you want to call these things, yeah, those, they work, so I ended up using that, and I've been using it ever since. and you know, I love the thing. So other than that, you know, that's pretty much where I've been at for the last few years. I've just continued to use this sampler because it works, you know, and it makes some killer beats. The sound on it is amazing. It's got that vintage Akai sound, and running samples through it through vinyl, it, you know, just sounds amazing. So I've continued to use my Akai S20. Might not be the best sampler. I wouldn't really necessarily recommend everybody to go run out and buy an Akai S20, but I mean, that's what I got, and that's what I work with, and I have fun making beats on it. Another thing that I use as well is I use Ableton Live. That's pretty much how I run all my drum samples, and also I use that to make low-end samples from my vinyl run through my sampler. So it's a lot of back and forth. I'm running chords in and out of my computer to the sampler, but it still comes out sounding pretty damn good, so I'm really happy about that. Yeah, my production influences come from J Dilla, I'm gonna say Madlib, Da Beat Miners, Pete Rock, and a local artist out here, actually, Mocha Only. He's got some great sounds. I don't know how the hell he makes those sound so crazy, but they fucking sound awesome. So those are pretty much my main influences, beat making wise. From like an old school perspective, I gotta say, like, Bob James. Bob James is a big influence on me. I got a lot of Bob James records, and I love just sitting there listening to them because they sound fucking amazing. It sounds like old fucking hip hop records, you know? That's what it is. But really, that's it. That's pretty much what I do, and how it all started. And I've kind of just kept with the way that I've made beats over the last few years. I mean, I had that first little start with those two programs, but it didn't really have any, I don't know, it just really wasn't that great using those two programs. I got bored of it. Using vinyl, being able to go out digging and you know, finding new grooves, it's kept me preoccupied, and it's also kept me happy with the way that the sounds are coming out on the actual sampler. So I've just kept on doing it. Okay, before I go, I wanted to show you guys 3 records that I'm listening to right now. Since I'm a big vinyl guy, I wanted to let you guys know what I'm listening to. So I'll start out with Freddie Hubbard, High Energy. It's a good fucking album. Lots of good sounds on this one. If you love jazz or funky jazz fusion, I would definitely pick this album up, or at least research it. Great album. So that's the first one I want to show you guys. Second one I want to show you guys, this is one of my favorite artists, another Bob James produced artist. It's Grover Washington Jr. with Feel So Good. Yeah, this is a really good album. There's a lot of classic hits on this, like Hydra, and my favorite track off that is Moonstreams. You gotta check that track out. Really good fucking track, so check it out. And the last one, this one's a little bit newer, still old school hip hop right here, is A Tribe Called Quest with Midnight Marauders. This is one of my favorite Tribe albums, and I would definitely recommend this album. Go pick it up, as well as the Low End Theory, another great album as well. You got all these crazy artists on the back there, so yeah, those are the 3 records that I'm listening to the most right now, and that I got on the record player a lot of the time. So I guess I'm gonna wrap this up. I just wanted to let you guys know kind of how it all started, a little bit of a backstory, and yeah, that's pretty much me. That's Wise Basis for you. I got my records, I got my Akai S20 sampler, and I got Ableton, but I got the sampler. Yeah, that's my favorite. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you again soon. I also want to apologize because I said I was going to make this video like a week ago or something like that, but I ended up kind of having my internet turn off and all this shit, so now I got to back up. So I hope you guys enjoy. There'll be more videos coming soon, and also my album is coming out November 15th, so watch out, because I'm going to have that up for free on Bandcamp and on SoundCloud. So keep your eyes open for that.